Uh, welcome. My name is Ron, and today I'm going to talk about recruiting agents. Doesn't matter if it's in real estate or network marketing or just in insurance. But because I'm in real estate, I'm going to talk about what I've seen, why it's important to recruit the right agent. And we've got a couple of people on uh, some chats, and I've only allowed certain people into my front line in my Zoom meetings, but just drop me some information and questions regarding chats. So let's kick off. And I'll put a PowerPoint together. So I'd just like to share the PowerPoint. Just bear with me. Share. Okay, where is that? See more. And there we are. Jean, can you maybe see my PowerPoint? There we are.
Yeah.
Okay. And recruiting of agents. So let me ask you this. What do you feel is the biggest challenge in recruiting agents? And one of the big things is what I found in looking for the right agent. A lot of people, especially in these trying times that we're living in, is everybody is looking for a job. And what does a job stand for? Just on broke. And I've seen it so many times in my career by employing people, being part of big organizations, being in call centers. Everybody's just to see how can they make a quick buck, just to put food on the table. But when you get into mainly into the real estate business, everything has got to do with commission. And sometimes principals are just employing people to fit seats in or fit bums into seats and not looking after their interest. Because I think the more people they can recruit, the better for the organization, the more people they can call and bring people in or mandates or properties into the business. The question comes in, is that the right person that you want to attract in the business? Which brings me to the main point, is if you were 100% financially free for life guaranteed, what would you do every day when you wake up in the morning? What would that be? And what I've done in the last week or so when I was preparing this PowerPoint, and I spoke to probably about 30 to 40 people. Out of that, only one person came to me and has said to me, you know what? If I can change my life, I will go into music because I love music. But my parents told me the opportunities are bigger than you, because lots of times our parents is the downfall of growing where we want to go and created that negative mindset. Now, a lot of us get retrenched. And what I found also in the real estate business, a lot of older folk want to get into real estate because I see it's something to do on their pension, but they don't really know what is their calling, what is their purpose, what is their passion. A lot of times agents are just getting into and just phoning every dictionary without explaining to them it's a process. And I'm going to go back into a little bit of stats, what I've got on one of my slides to show you what happens if you recruit the right person. So when you recruit an agent, ask him this question. If you were 100% financially free for life guaranteed, what would you do every day when you wake up? And Yamni will really say, real estate is in my blood. Think about that question. So I made a list of looking at different types of people. You got the A level, B level, and C level. Now, think what I'm saying here. Do you want people to look up to you, which is C? B is the same type of person that, like you and I, in real estate, entrepreneur, friends, family, going to the same gym. Or A, people you look up to. Would it be A, B, or C? Yes, thanks a lot. I can see most of you are going for C because you feel important because you're the person that people need to look up to. Oh, only one of you is saying A. All right, I'm going to go back into that. But B is also where people are the same as you. It's your friend. So if I'm your friend, I'm not going to get fired. Think about what I'm saying there. A, sometimes we feel threatened to look up to people. But if you bring this into a reality, into my breakdown, you'll see what I'm talking about. People looking up to you is most of the time not successful. They're salary employed. They got no purpose or passion in life. Those are the ones that's always moaning in your business. Oh, it doesn't work. I can get better commission somewhere else. I've tried this. It doesn't go my way. They're looking for something better to do. It could be it looks too good to be true. And why is this person doing more than I? Why are they interfering with my area? They're always hampering the growth of your business. Complaining, as I said, it hampers your growth. The same in level B, they've got the same mindset, attitude, income, successes. They're the hardest to recruit because why? If something goes wrong in your business, those are the ones that's always going to tell you, I told you so. I told you real estate won't work for you. I've been in that business. I was never successful. Those are the people that creates doubt in your mindset. Think about it. If you sit in a group of friends, there's always be one negative person that will hamper the conversation. And they will always talk negative, and your whole argument or discussion, whatever, will turn sour. Change that mindset into a positive attitude, and you'll see how that whole conversation turns into a positive and positive environment. So when you look at the C and B, these two groups of people will always hamper your growth. The friends like you or the people that look up to you, because they want to be spoon-fed. And this is why I look at the A-level people. You're recruiting up. Why? They go to your business. They understand failures. They know how to fall. Stand up, fall forward, and carry on. They're high income earners. They understand the do's and the don'ts of failure. They learn through their mistakes. And they're motivated and highly driven people. Some of them might be business owners. I'll take myself, for instance. Why did I get into real estate? I've been in real estate since 92, but never sold property. I've helped people to qualify for bonds. I help people to save their houses through sheriff's auctions. I understand the National Credit Act. I understand the Magistrates Court Act, all of that. But it came to a point where I said, you know what? Real estate is indirectly in my blood. So is my wife, Dawn. And we work together as a team. We might be in different companies, but we leverage from each other. But let me change leverage to leverage. It's how we can work together, sort out one or two problems because we understand failure. I mean, I was nearly bankrupt 3 times, and we worked through those processes. And that's why I understand by looking up to people who's been successful in business makes my business grow. We're always positive, and there's always opportunities we see. Why we see opportunities? We look at the COVID, we look at the Ukraine war, we look at high interest rates. We will always survive when there's negativity in the marketplace. So when you look at the level A, where people, you look up to people, they will look always at the opportunities to make business work. Think about it. I'm going to say to you, I'm happy and grateful for load shedding. You're going to say, why? Because I can do stuff from a coffee shop using Zoom, using data, where other people sit in an office and say, okay, I'm just going to sit back and be the B and C level. Or the entrepreneur will say, hang on, I've seen an opportunity to create solar panels. How many people have seen that opportunity when there's negativity? How many people found their creative ways through COVID? So those are the people you're looking for to make your business work, as maybe in the real estate agent or the real estate agency. So let me ask you this questions. Why do you want to be in real estate? What is a key thing why you want to come in as a real estate agent? Ask yourself that question, or ask that person you're interviewing, why does he want to be in real estate? If they say, I want to make money, is that the right question or right answer? Or if they say, yes, I want to learn, I want to grow. I've always been in real estate as a purchasing properties. Now I want to know a little bit more. Those are the questions that can maybe help you to find that right agent to make business work. Or how long you've been with a company. It might not be just in real estate, it might be in insurance. He understands marketing. All of that can be valuable information working with that specific person. He understands that maybe the call center environment, they might understand working with corporates, you might understand working with certain directors. You never know what that person is by working maybe for a long term in that company of his portfolio is built up. I'm going to come to a question which is close to the end of these questions, which is very important to me. Or you've been in a real estate agency, how many sellers or buyers have you recruited in the last 6, 12, 24 months? It gives you an idea what the capabilities of this particular person. How many mandates are you still, or how many mandates are still active in your portfolio with an existing company or a company you're working for? Those are questions will help you to understand how to look at this particular agent to grow your portfolio, because the more you're going to give back to a particular agent by leads, software, all of this type of thing, CRM systems, these are the agents that will perform by helping making your business easy. Or how many regular sellers and buyers do you have? Because why is that important? Because sellers and buyers are people that will look up to you, because it might be a portfolio you've built up in the last 5 or 6 years. And one thing I want to tell you why this is important, I learned this from my sister. My sister used to have a dealership in Newcastle. And I won't mention the brand, but she was the top woman in car sales for this particular brand for probably 30 years, under the top 5 or top 10. And she delivered cars all over South Africa. She was not area bound, because the sellers and the buyers, or let me rephrase it, as customers, will say, hey, Jenny, it's time for me to trade in. What have you got for me? And she will drive the car down to Cape Town from Newcastle, deliver the car and drive the second-hand car back, or she will fly back by providing that service. This is what's important when you start interviewing the agent to see how big is his database? What can he bring to the table to make your business work? So the next question is, where would you love to be in your real estate business? Put a goal forward in 12 months, 3 years, 5 years. What is a goal? And you as a principal or the recruiter, show them a roadmap how to get there. Because I look at the book Think and Grow Rich, and Napoleon Hill speaks about plan your work and work your plan. And in the business of recruiting, you need to put those action plans into place. This is whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. So how can you put that into place to make business work? The next question is, how much money would you like to make a month? If a person says, okay, I want to make 10,000 Rand a month, break it down into bite-sized pieces. So take it, how many days are there in a month? Take the 30 days, divide it, 30 days into 10 and divide it again by so many days in a month. That will give you an average income per hour. That's what you have to achieve. 10,000 Rand is nothing to make in the real estate. If you want to put it as 100,000 or 200,000, it's easier to break it down in bite-sized pieces, and you can help that person to grow. So if you put a vision board in front of him to show you how he can do it, and put a mentorship program together, as well as a coaching program, they will achieve it. Because sometimes to have it area bound, or you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, having the boss approach is not going to work. Become that leader in real estate to make business work. What would you love to accomplish through real estate as an agent? Post those questions to them and see what they want to get out of. So if I look at myself, what do I want to accomplish? I want to accomplish a portfolio where I can split my income in 4. 70% of my income, which I get, pays for my running expense. The 30% are split into 3 ways, where I can have properties which I can invest in and receive an income, where I can put into shares, and my other 10% is like a tithes and offerings, 10% which I can give back to others to help them grow. This is a question I've been through a couple of companies, but nobody has asked me this question. What can you bring to the table? And the reason why I say that is nobody asked me, what can I bring to the table through my contacts? Because if you look at your cell phone, I'm sitting with over 2,000 people on my cell phone, from CEOs, managing directors of call centers, government employees, unions, all of that. I'm sitting with a database which I can utilize to make business work. So you have that right agent who's got a network which can create a net worth. Those agents can help you to grow your business, because it could be high net worth clients. It could be government employees who can work through government subsidies. Or it might be people that might be working in the locations, who understands that market. All of this has got to do is how to grow your portfolio of agents to make business work. Any questions so far? Okay. So let's look at a bit of stats about agents. 70% do 0 sales. 20% might do 1 to 2 sales a year or 6 months. 5% will do 3 to 5 sales. 3% will do between 6 to 9 sales. The 2% will do 9 plus sales. Now, what is important here is that this group does 30% of all sales, where the 2% have more mandates, become market leaders, or their own personal brand, do 70% of all the sales, and they dominate the area. So you see, if you start focusing on the right agents by asking that question, if you were 100% financially free, what would you like to be? Or where do you want to go? And let's say real estate, you're already halfway there to recruit that 2% because they know what their passion and purpose is to achieve the sales and to be dominant in the area, to not understand their brand. And that's also very important if you look to be that category A client, who's that entrepreneur, who's a go-getter to make business work. So I just want to move myself out the way here. What is the value for you of having the right agent? And controlling the market, other agents selling your stock, having extra buyers. What would your worth be in 12 months? You can start building a passive income going forward by recruiting the right agents. Your agents will have a premier advantage, and you as the agent who's got a network, or you as a principal, you become the role model in the industry. I've seen so many people who are role models because people want to work with them. It's got nothing to do with commission. Everybody's chasing the commission. It's not the commission, it's what can you give back to that agent who feels comfortable to make business work. Because it comes with one thing, your status. And to create that repetition in the marketplace that people want to work with you. What is your income worth today? And what would it be if you recruit the right agent? The interesting part is you have to decide, are you just going to see what sits on the wall and take what you can get? Are you hungry enough to recruit the right people? Are you prepared to mentor and guide and work with people you want to work with, instead of having a book that just turns? How much is it costing you for that seat? How much is it costing you for the course? How much is it costing you for the software, the name badges, the signage? What is that costing you at the end of the day? It's all overheads. Are those agents coachable that you can coach them to where you want to be, instead of them feeling like an employee? And are you prepared to face your fears as a principal, as an agent, or to make a change in your life? So on that, these are a couple of things which I feel I'm working on, because I'm with another company, which I'm not going to mention now, is how to grow my network, because I know what my net worth will be, where I can recruit locally, nationally, and have buyers internationally. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's how I want to grow my business. Drop me a WhatsApp. If there's anything else you need, just let me know. Next week, we're going to talk about how to find mandates to make your business work. Have an awesome day.